Hi everyone, and welcome back to the C++ crash course. I'm Nick, and today we're going to be going over one of the basic looping structures in C++, which are for loops. So let's go ahead and jump into the code. So we'll go to CF for control flow for loops.cpp, and it's a fairly short code example today. So what does this do? So this program shows off C++ for loops by doing multiplication using successive addition, and it's by myself, Nick. So let's look at what we're trying to do. So we all know that multiplication, you can think of it as just successive additions. So if we want to do, say, 5 times 10, so 5 being the multiplicand and 10 being the multiplier, we would add 5 10 times, so we should get 50. Now, it's pretty painful if we want to say, right, product is equal to, say, 5 plus 5, plus 5 plus 5, 10 times. That's pretty painful. We don't want to do that. Now, of course, there is the multiply operator in C++, but just to give us an introduction to constructs that give us this ability to repeat over and over and over, sometimes we may have, a list of things we want to multiply. So it's convenient to have a way to continue on that list or to automatically go over that list. So in this case, we'll use a for loop. Now what a for loop says is for I equals 0. So we both declare and initialize this variable right here, this I, and set it to 0. Then we give it a condition after the semicolon. So we say while I is less than multiplier. So we want to iterate 10 times. So we want to go from 0 to 9. Remember, it's less than, so it has to be less than 10. So the only whole number less than 10 is 9. And then here we use a new operator that we haven't seen before, this plus plus. Now this plus plus is just an increment, which says that every single time in the loop, so if we run through the first iteration, I is equal to 0. We test it against the multiplier. Now, in this case, 0, which is I, will be less than the multiplier, which is 10. So we'll go through, we'll execute all the code in the loop, and then at the end of the loop, we will increment. And so in the next iteration, I will be 1, we'll do the test again, and we'll execute what's inside. So what is inside the loop? So inside the loop, to product, we are adding the multiplicand every single time. So what we should be doing is adding 5 10 times. So it should be 5 plus 5 plus 5 for 10 times. And we'll print it out every iteration and then before the loop. And then we'll see if we get the correct answer. All right, so we'll go ahead and save this. We will compile it, so we'll use G++ like we've done for all of our examples. So G++ -o control flow for loops, and then we'll pass in the C++ file. We compile with no errors. There's our executable in green. We'll execute it. And see, while there's only 3 lines of code within that for loop, we see that it does this iteration. So before the loop happens, of course, our product is 0. We haven't done anything to it other than initialize it. Then for every iteration, from 0 to 9, so that will be 10 iterations, we see we add 5 successively. Now, I think I may have skipped over something. If we go back right here, there's another operator we haven't used before, and that's the plus equals operator. This is just convenient if we want to do both addition and assignment in one operator. So in reality, what this is equivalent to is product is equal to product plus multiplicand. But because we have this plus equals, we don't need to write product again. We can just put plus equals. All right, so that's going to do it for our introduction to for loops. We'll have more control flow and looping structure stuff in later videos. Again, as always, all code is available on the Coffee Before Arch GitHub page. under the C++ crash course. And in this README we have links to all the YouTube videos, as well as direct links to all the code used in these videos. So in this case we used cf forloops.cpp. So if we click this link, it will take us to the code that we showed off here. So feel free to download it and play with it for yourself. All right, I'm Nick from Coffee Before Arch, and I hope you have a nice day.